Let's be honest. Women don't fantasize about intelligent men. They admire them, they're intrigued by them, but deep down, they fear them. Because the intelligent man is the only one who doesn't fall for the show. He doesn't chase validation, he doesn't worship beauty, he doesn't kneel before emotion. He watches, and that alone terrifies the world built on illusions. See, every fantasy needs a believer. And the intelligent man, he's the heretic in the temple of desire. He sees behind the curtain, and once you see behind the curtain, you can never be enchanted again. Picture a man sitting in a crowded cafe. Laughter everywhere, phones flashing, faces lit by screens. He's not scrolling, he's watching. He's not judging anyone, just seeing the little performances, the nervous gestures, the fake smiles, the empty eyes behind the filters. You can tell he doesn't belong here. Not because he's better, but because he's awake. And in that wakefulness lies his curse. He can't go back to sleep. He can't pretend like the others. When he talks to women, they like his mind at first. They say, "You're different." But soon, the tone changes. You think too much. You're too serious. You don't live in the moment. Translation? You're not easy to fool. Kierkegaard once said that the reflective man will always disturb the world of illusion, because reflection kills fantasy. The intelligent man lives by law, not lust, by principle, not performance. He doesn't swim in the shallow end of emotion, he dives beneath it, where truth hides in silence. And that's where the conflict begins. Women want to feel something grand, a story, a myth, a man they can believe in. But belief dies in front of truth. You can't manipulate a man who sees. You can't seduce a man who understands seduction. That's why he's both wanted and rejected, drawn in, then pushed away. Because his love demands honesty, not performance. His silence exposes pretense. His independence destroys the fantasy of ownership. The intelligent man isn't cold, he's just clear. This is the paradox that breaks the modern illusion of romance. The more awake a man becomes, the less compatible he is with delusion. The world tells him, that's a flaw. You're too serious. You're too focused. But that's the lie society feeds to every man who can't be swayed by comfort or charm. Because clarity doesn't serve the system. Emotional control does. The intelligent man breaks both. The feminine illusion and the social illusion. He's dangerous not because he's cruel, but because he's free. And freedom, to the world of illusion, feels like rejection. So they call him detached. They call him unromantic. But the truth is, he's just the man who stopped pretending. And every illusion, feminine, social, or spiritual, begins to crumble the moment one man dares to see. Because one seeing man exposes the blindness of 1,000 dreamers. And that's the real reason intelligence unsettles desire. It's not that he doesn't feel, it's that his feelings answer to reason, not impulse. And that kills the fantasy before it begins. Most people never swim past the surface. The surface is easy. It's where charm works, where small talk hides emptiness, where everyone plays the same game of pretending to care more than they do. It's where attraction is a script and everyone knows their lines. But the intelligent man doesn't play for applause. He listens too closely. He notices the flicker in the eyes when words don't match the tone. He catches the pause between sentences, the hesitation that reveals motive. And the moment a woman feels seen like that, really seen, something inside her panics because she realizes this man can't be controlled by beauty alone. His attention isn't automatic. It must be earned and earned through truth. That's where fascination turns into fear. Carl Jung once said, every man projects his inner feminine, his anima, onto women. It's how he falls in love, how he worships, how he gives away power. But the intelligent man withdraws that projection. He stops expecting women to be his source of meaning. He doesn't search for salvation in their affection or peace in their approval. And that single act, taking back the projection, breaks the spell. Now the mirror reverses. Instead of being the dream he chases, she becomes the reflection that exposes her own illusions. His calm presence shows her the gap between who she pretends to be and who she really is. And no one likes that kind of mirror. So she calls him cold. She says, he doesn't open up. But what she truly means is he doesn't play along with her dream. Depth sounds romantic until you meet someone who actually has it. Then it feels like pressure, like standing at the edge of the ocean, realizing it could swallow you. The intelligent man's calmness has gravity. It pulls pretenders down where masks can't survive. There, words mean nothing. There, performance drowns. And that's the paradox. The same woman who says she wants a man with depth secretly prays he stays shallow enough to keep her comfortable. Because depth demands exposure. It demands honesty. It demands she look at her own reflection and admit what's false. But the intelligent man doesn't demand it with words. He demands it with presence. Silence sharper than argument. Stillness that turns excuses into noise. She feels it and she runs. It isn't just women. Society fears depth the same way. Look around. Everything today is designed to keep men distracted, endless scrolls, shallow praise, artificial pleasure. The thinking man ruins the market of manipulation. He can't be sold fake purpose. He can't be guilted into buying validation. He can't be emotionally blackmailed into chasing attention. His refusal to perform looks rebellious, but it's really peace. And peace doesn't sell. So the world gives him labels. Detached, weird, too intense. Because labeling him is easier than understanding him. That's how the collective protects itself from the discomfort of truth. Deep down, every woman knows that an intelligent man can't be possessed. He may love her, but he'll never need her in the way she's used to being needed. He doesn't orbit her emotions, he stands apart like a mountain unmoved by weather. And that independence, that emotional sovereignty, is both magnetic and unbearable. Because to stand beside such a man, she must also become sovereign, and few are ready for that weight. So she admires him from afar, dreams of him in silence, but always returns to men she can manage. Men who react. Men who chase. Men who play by the rules of fantasy. That's the cruel symmetry of desire. People want what wakes them up, but they run back to what lets them sleep. And so the intelligent man walks alone, not because he's unloved, but because his clarity doesn't fit the script. The world mistakes his peace for pride, his solitude for sorrow. But what if it's neither? What if it's simply freedom misunderstood? There's a quiet punishment for seeing too much. Not chains, not exile, just misunderstanding. The man who sees clearly becomes a stranger everywhere. At work, in love, even among friends, his silence offends, his peace unsettles. Because when a man stops reacting, the world loses control of him. People don't want truth, they want comfort wrapped as truth. They want a mirror that flatters, not one that reveals. So when the intelligent man refuses to play along, they call him arrogant, detached, cynical. But clarity has no audience. It stands alone. In a world that thrives on chaos, stillness is rebellion. Every system, political, romantic, social, runs on one thing: reaction. They need you to care too quickly, buy too fast, love too easily. The intelligent man breaks that rhythm. He pauses, he watches, he questions, and that single pause exposes the machinery. Nietzsche said, "He who cannot command himself will be commanded." That's why society hates the self-possessed man. He can't be led by impulse. He doesn't worship pleasure, he controls it. He doesn't drown in emotion, he studies it. He's not trying to be mysterious, he's just disciplined. And discipline, in a culture of indulgence, feels like defiance. Look around. The modern world sells emotion like a drug. Love is marketed Outrage is monetized. You're rewarded for reacting, punished for thinking. A man who doesn't react becomes a glitch in the algorithm. He breaks the loop. He scrolls, but he's not consumed. He loves, but he's not owned. He works, but he's not enslaved by ambition. He's immune, and immunity kills the market. Schopenhauer called this the intellect's rebellion against the will. Every man is born a slave to his desires, the will to chase, to conquer, to mate, to consume. But once he understands the illusion, the spell weakens. And suddenly, he's no longer predictable. That's when the system brands him broken. Because in a world designed to provoke, the unprovoked man is useless. Even in love, clarity feels like cruelty. A man who doesn't overreact, who doesn't beg, who doesn't orbit a woman's emotions, confuses her. She thinks he's indifferent, but he's not. He simply refuses to lose himself. He loves from principle, not panic. He gives without bargaining. He listens without seeking validation. To most, that looks like distance. But to a few, it's rare power, the kind that creates peace, not chaos. And peace is foreign to those addicted to drama. They crave turbulence because it proves they exist. The intelligent man, by offering calm, removes their favorite proof. So they'll try to provoke him emotionally, sexually, socially, just to feel alive again. If he doesn't react, they call him lifeless. But in truth, he's the only one actually living. Every clear-eyed man pays a toll. Isolation isn't punishment, it's the tax of consciousness. You start seeing the cracks in everything. Conversations that mean nothing, desires that go nowhere, relationships built on need, not truth. He begins to notice how men are trained to trade their peace for attention. How strength is mocked unless it serves pleasure. How silence is mistaken for weakness because it doesn't feed ego. But the man who endures this stage without bitterness, who doesn't collapse into cynicism, becomes dangerous in the best way. He's free. Free from needing approval. Free from the high of validation. Free from the illusion that noise equals meaning. He's become what Kierkegaard called the single individual, a man who stands before truth, naked, unshaken, and alone. And that's the paradox. Society calls him mad for not submitting, but secretly, it envies his peace. Because clarity, once mastered, evolves into stillness. And stillness, once owned, becomes power. The intelligent man is no longer at war with the world, he simply lives above its noise. But that's when a new kind of challenge begins, not escaping illusion, but creating truth. A man who sees too clearly eventually stops fighting shadows. He learns that peace isn't the absence of chaos, it's the mastery of response. The world stays loud, he just stops dancing to its rhythm. He no longer lives by impulse, but by law, not society's law, but his own code. Where others chase meaning, he builds it. Every decision becomes a brick, every boundary a wall, every principle a beam, and the house he builds is silence. He finally understands what Kierkegaard called the single individual, a man who answers to truth alone. Stillness is not weakness. It's the art of controlled strength, the kind that doesn't need to prove itself. When insulted, he doesn't retaliate. When tempted, he doesn't chase. When tested, he simply stands. That calm unsettles people more than anger ever could. Because power without noise exposes how dependent others are on reaction. He becomes what Nietzsche hinted at, the Übermensch, the man who creates his own values in a decaying world. He doesn't rebel for attention, he rebels by existing outside the script. And in that quiet rebellion, he becomes untouchable. For the reflective man, love transforms. It stops being conquest and becomes communion. He doesn't seek to own a woman. He seeks to meet her without illusion. He knows beauty fades, charm cracks, passion cools, but truth endures. So he loves through truth. To the untrained eye, that looks unromantic. To the awakened, it's sacred, because his love no longer drains him, it refines him. And women who can't manipulate him may not understand him, but they feel the rare weight of his presence. It's not passion that attracts them anymore, it's gravity. Every reflective man reaches a moment when observation must become creation. Seeing is no longer enough, now he must build. He stops debating the world and starts shaping it through work, art, philosophy, legacy. His mind, once a defense, becomes an instrument. His detachment becomes design. He doesn't argue with the system anymore. He outgrows it. He lives by the Stoic creed. Control what is yours, release what is not. And in doing so, he becomes the rarest kind of rebel, the one who conquers himself first. Kierkegaard spoke of the knight of faith, a man who moves through the world quietly, not needing proof that truth exists because he embodies it. The reflective man becomes that knight. He loves without illusion, works without applause, and walks through noise untouched. He's no longer reacting to the world. The world now reacts to him. And that, brother, is the law of the reflective man. He governs by peace, not power, by vision, not validation. If you're that man, the one they call too serious, too focused, too distant, remember this. They call you that because they can't move you. Your clarity threatens their comfort. Your silence breaks their illusion. Stay still, stay sharp. The world doesn't need more performers. It needs men who can see. Men who live by principle when emotion tries to rule. Men who'd rather walk alone in truth than sleep together in lies. If this message hits something in you, that quiet place that refuses to be tamed, then this space is for you. Subscribe, share, and stay. Because this channel isn't built for the crowd, it's built for the men who choose clarity over comfort, truth over fantasy, and sovereignty over approval.